my sweet little garbanzo beans. So I am coming at you today with a new pick-a-card. I have to admit, I was watching Seven Brides or Seven Brothers for the umpteenth time, and their whole song about going courtin' got me thinking. So today, what we are looking at is we are looking at your person of interest, and what I have done is I've set aside all the court cards, and I shuffled them, and I have selected them randomly. So I don't know which ones are which. I'll be honest, I know which one this is only because it fell over while I was setting up, so sorry. But as much as possible, I try not to know so I can discover it with you folks. But you get my drift. So they have been randomly selected, shuffled, randomly selected with your 4 options here. And this reading is really intended to look at what court card archetype of the tarot this person's energy is like represented by or most aligned with. There we go. That's the way that I want to say that. This is going to be kind of covering, both light and shadow attributes. So I, putting out kind of a content warning or a trigger warning, if you will. If you're in that place where your person can do no wrong and you're enjoying that space, this might not be the reading for you, just because, I understand the love bubble, but I'm going to be looking at, both the more positive and the more, like I said, the light and the shadow attributes of this person's energy. So I have their court card that represents them set out here. We have option 1 with this blue candle, option 2 with the yellow candle, option 3 with the purple, and then option 4 with the green. And I also have additional, I have another tarot deck that I'm going to be pulling from, as well as some oracle cards as we go. So take as much time as you need, pause the video if you need to kind of meditate on which one you feel the most drawn into. Think about your person, think about your connection. This could be somebody that you've just met. This could be somebody you are in a relationship with, but you're looking to take it further. Or you could even use this if you've been in an established connection to, to get a better feeling for, maybe things you don't know about them or things that are kind of beneath the surface a little bit. So utilize this reading as you will. I did kind of come into it with the intention of a romantic focus, but you don't exclusively have to use it like that. So, just kind of keeping that in mind. Again, take time, pause the video if you need it. But with that, I am going to get started with group 1 oh my gosh, you guys, I can't talk. Group number 1 with my lovely blue, sweet little candle babies. Hi, group 1. Okie dokie. So you folks chose option number 1 with this lovely blue candle here. So this is throat chakra energy. This is a lot about expression and our personal truth. Immediately, right off the bat, what I'm getting is this person is probably very honest and direct. I feel like this person probably tells it like it is. And that doesn't have to be in a blunt or, harsh way. I just feel like they don't like to waste time leaving things left unsaid or uncertain, with uncertainty. I feel like this person likes to tie up loose ends. I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Sorry. There we go. I remember this time, you guys, I brought water to put right next to me so that way I don't get super bad dry throat. But yeah, being drawn into the blue candle, I really feel like that's this person's strength, is that they're very honest and they're very direct. They don't like to waste time and beat around the bush. And I feel like they do this out of a sense of valuing their own time as well as other people's time. That's really the distinct feeling I get here, is that they're very much conscientious of theirs and other people's time. And as a result, they like to move quickly. They're decisive. I feel like they're very direct is the best word to think of it. So let's see what you got with your court card. Ooh, and I want to say normally I do read reversals, but for the actual representation, if they're reversed, I'm going to flip them upright. But you guys got the King of Wands. Okay, so this person may be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That could serve as extra confirmation for you, but it does not have to. I'm trying to get it to stay still because there's a little fold in the fabric. There we go. So right away, yeah, this is exactly what we were kind of just talking about with the energy. This person seems like they're very decisive. They're very, confident. The King of Wands is a very confident energy. The King of Wands is very charismatic, is very social, is a go-getter. And these are kind of some of the better qualities of the King of Wands. And I always like the King of Wands as his little fist like balled up right here, because to me, the King of Wands is always really determined, right? He kind of reminds me a little bit of like the person on the Nine of Wands after they've like overcome everything, right? This person is very determined more than anything else. Yeah, so, the shadow energies for the King of Wands as well, because it is important that we talk about it. And I will pull more cards to kind of talk about your person's specific energy. But the drawbacks of the King of Wands is that sometimes this person can be a little bit myopic, in that spirit of perseverance and that go-getter kind of attitude. Sometimes they can get a little tunnel vision. This person might be a little overly confident or kind of very particular about the way they want things done. They want it done their way, and that's kind of the end of the story. This person may be a little bit impulsive at times or may act a little bit too quickly. The King of Wands is a very passionate energy, but the drawback is that sometimes that can lead to things sort of burning out really fast. This is less of an issue, I will say, with the King than, like, for example, the Knight. So the nice thing is this person is coming through as a king. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but these don't have to correspond to the gender of your person. We all have both masculine and feminine energies within us. So this is kind of just how this person's energy is coming across in this reading. But, whereas the Knight might kind of lose that passion or like lack that longevity, the King has learned to master his passions, and he's learned to kind of, like I said, with a little fist, like learn to persevere even when maybe he's not quite as excited about it as he used to be, whereas like the Knight of Wands struggles to do that. But like your person is very determined. Your person is likely very set on something, or because look at his gaze. So I'll be curious to see what other cards come up in this spot, because I think the placement of tarot cards is very important. But he's very, very determined, right? Your person's very determined. And once they set their sights on something, I feel like that's almost all there is to it, which can be both a light attribute and a shadow attribute depending on the situation. I feel like in a relationship or a courtship, especially in the courtship phase, this person, once they have decided they want to go after you or go after a relationship, it is very hard to deter them. They are very persistent. Again, this can be a light attribute or a shadow attribute. It has a lot to do with how, your person in particular, like where they are on their journey and their personal maturation. So just keep that in mind. But this person is very, very driven by what sparks passion with them. And because I'm really just noticing for the first time, his shoes are green. Whenever I see colors of shoes in the tarot, it kind of talks about like, what inspires us to move forward, right? What like supports us as we move through the world, because it's green and that's heart chakra energy as well as kind of representative of growth. I feel like this person is ultimately very motivated by their feelings and by their desire to grow in that heart-centered energy as they move forward and move throughout the world. So this is just kind of a quick overview, but I am going to pull you guys some tarot so we can dig a little deeper. I'm using the Halloween tarot. All my decks are going to be linked in the description box below. I'm going to try to shuffle on camera, even though I'm not great at that. Oh, this one wants to come out. Oh, okay. I was going to pull 3, and then that was exactly the number that came out. So, okay. So this is the equivalent of the 8 of Swords reverse in this deck. So I actually feel like this should go here. And then we have the Strength card. And then we have the Ace of Imps, which would be the Ace of Wands. I'm going to put these right here just because it's hard for them to balance. I think I could probably make it work. Can we make 2 work here? Let's look. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay, we got it. I love it. Just because I like, again, the placement of tarot matters to me. So this is kind of exactly what I was talking about. I felt like this one needs to go here. So this thing that this person gets very motivated by is by surpassing expectations, right? Because when we have the 8 of Swords upright, this is all about our self-limiting beliefs. So this kind of energy makes me think of like, when you tell me I can't, I'm going to show you how much I can, is kind of this energy. This person is very, very determined, like super duper determined. And I feel like, so there's a lot of water here, and there's some water in the traditional card, but not this much. I feel like this person is very, very motivated by their feelings, by things that have been emotionally difficult for them. Because we have the Strength card, so this is more fire energy, by the way, both of these are. This is Leo's energy, so your person may be a Leo or have important Leo placements. But this kind of makes me think of everything that's behind them, right? Is that I feel like, the Strength card is all about really remaining true to your feelings, to what's in your heart, being patient, being able to stay gracious in the face of hardship, like emotional hardship. And I feel like this is what this person has spent a lot of time mastering, or where this person has like the kind of like the context for this person's personal evolution is making it through these very difficult things and remaining true to what's in their heart, true to their own, oh gosh, it's hard to describe, kind of remaining true to the essence of themselves, right? Because this is all about taming your inner beasts, your inner demons, and I feel like that's what this person has done. Again, this is why they're coming out as a king. They are fully evolved, fully matured, in their own right. And I love that the cards, the way they came out with the uprights versus the reversals, is really, really positive. This person's honestly, I feel like this person's probably been through a lot. I feel like this person this person just feels like they will not give up, right? Because we have the Ace of Wands. And so this is always about like a passionate new beginning. This is like a new, creative project. This is like new spiritual energy. This is, all aces are new beginnings that are kind of like gifted from the divine. And with it being wands, this is like soul energy, creative energy, passions, excitement, enthusiasm, just like a lot of energy. So it's very likely this person is somebody who has been through a lot of trials of the heart and has experienced a lot of situations where they've had to tame parts of themselves. And that's where this 8 of Swords reverse comes in, is that they've probably been put into a lot of situations where they felt very like closed off or very like hemmed in. And I feel like this person doesn't like to feel trapped. I definitely get that feeling. This person doesn't want to feel trapped by themselves or circumstance or anything. I feel like with all the water here, it makes this person feel very emotionally helpless when they feel stuck. And I feel like this has been a really transformative set of experiences throughout their lifetime, that every time they feel stuck, it motivates them that much more to hang on, to dig deep, to find their strength, and to manifest a new beginning for themselves. And it's like every time they get through this process, they they grow and they evolve and they mature, and it's turned them into the King of Wands. And that's why, if we're being, totally honest, and we're talking about both light and shadow energies, that's why this person, I feel like, might be a little bit, they might be a little bit controlling for some people. They may just be a little particular, is like the right word. It's because I feel like they've had to kind of keep a lid on everything to make it through all of these challenges they've been through. And I feel like that sense of determination and like that warrior energy, warrior spirit, that drive, that perseverance is the thing that keeps helping them to escape that feeling of being trapped. Because I really get that feeling very, very strongly here. This person does not like to feel trapped. And I feel like this person also doesn't like to feel potentially like stagnant. This person may not like to feel hemmed in by limitations, and I feel like they utilize that. It's like a caged animal syndrome kind of a thing. I feel like they utilize that energy as a way of inspiring themselves to really dig deep and like face these parts of themselves and grow through them and mature through them. And as a result, that's why they're coming out as the king. But I do feel like this person may at sometimes be a little bit closed off to another way of doing things. This person may have a very hard time like sitting still, both literally and metaphorically, because there's just so much like fire here, and there's, you know, action, there's movement. This person may have a very hard time being in their divine feminine energy of stillness and patience, and of, you know, trust in the universe, and you know, being in that receiving, that like that energy of receiving what the universe wants to give you. So that may just be a little bit of where this person may struggle, but honestly, this seems like a very invigorating person, and I think depending on the type of person you are, this could be like a really good fit, you know, especially if you are more of that divine feminine, like that kind of patient, nurturing, you know, open, receptive energy. This could be a very good fit. This person's very, very mature in this way. So I really like to see this. This is interesting. This is really cool because it's wands as well. I forgot to mention this person may be very in touch with their spirituality, or if they practice something like magic, or they have a spiritual practice or path, they may be more in touch with that than the average person would be, just because wands is that energy as well. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys. I have Botanical Inspirations. This deck is beautiful. Highly recommend it. Oh, okay. This is so cute, you guys. You guys got Sweet Pea. Look at that. It says, blissful pleasure, follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. Joseph Campbell. All right, I love that. Yeah, see, exactly. I feel like this person goes after what makes them happy. They don't like to feel hemmed in by limitations. They really, really go for it. I feel like sometimes maybe a drawback of this energy, this person may struggle to take time to stop and kind of smell the roses, and to enjoy the sweetness of life and what they've manifested, what they've brought into fruition. So especially depending on, you know, how you are as a person and how you might be as their partner, that might be something that you bring to the table that they really, really need. But I do feel like this person is very sweet. This person's very loving. This is, again, Leo energy. So this is very heart-centered. This is very generous, very warm, very caring, very giving in their own way. And one of the things that I kind of always pick up with like the wand suit is that they tend to be giving in a way where it's almost like giving you inspiration or giving you passion, and not saying you don't have these things on your own, but I feel like that's how the King of Wands especially kind of knows how to give, is like, oh, you know, this is something you want to pursue, let's do this, let's make this happen. This is all about like bringing your dreams into manifestation, and I feel like this person will support you in that. So I'm trying to fix this cloth. It's just not happening though. Yikes. Okay, it's not gonna happen. That's okay. But yeah, this is just like this person. I feel like this person really enjoys your company. This person is likely a very, like I said, generous, complimentary person. I feel like this person likes to compliment you. This person may want to show you off to other people. This person likes to have experiences with you and share the sweetness of little moments of like being alive, you know, like life's everyday little miracle kind of moments. So I like that. That's beautiful. I'm going to also just pull you guys a Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle to kind of talk about this person's energy a little bit more. I actually want to pull you guys two. So that's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to pull two. Sorry if I'm bumping the camera. I'm really trying hard not to. It's hard. Okay, so you guys got... Oh, okay. Alrighty. So you guys got commitment. Can you see that? This is card 13. So that would reduce to a 4 in case that's important for you. But it says the frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being and with unwavering belief. Okay. And then you guys got forgiveness. This is card 20. And it says the energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this person may be slow to open up sometimes, or to be their utmost, most vulnerable self. But I do feel like once they open up to you, once they're there, they're very committed. I feel like this person doesn't really hold grudges that much. I feel like they're very selective about who they fully let in, specifically because of that, because they have a lot of love to give and they want to make sure it goes to the right person. So if this person has struggled to open up to you, that may kind of be part of that. Or if you're at the beginning stages and you're asking about that, this person doesn't always wear their heart on their sleeve, but they show you in other ways, and they show up in the way that makes sense to them. Like I said, we have Leo energy, which is fixed sign energy. So I'm not saying this person has to be a Leo, but with that, I feel like there is a lot of potential for commitment. And I feel like once this person is ready to commit, that's like you're the apple of their eye. You're like their whole eye. Like, you know, and they make it a point to really provide a lot of these moments of like bliss together and of having this commitment. And again, I feel like this person doesn't really hold a lot of grudges. I feel like this person's not one for like stubbornly holding on to the past. I feel like they are selective about who they truly let in order to be able to give them the better version of themselves. Yeah. And again, like just because this person's coming up as the king, there's a lot of maturity here. This is a really nice energy. I feel like this person is like a really, really good person. So let me see. I want to pull you guys a tarot card for advice with this person. And again, you know, all of you, because this is a general reading, you're going to be at different stages in this connection or this interest. Okay, so your advice card is the 5 of Wands. I'm going to put that right there. Can I put it right here? No, I'll put it right here. It's the 5 of Wands reversed. So really, if you are going back and forth with this person, or because again we have even more fire here, if you're kind of like gosh, what do I want to say, you guys? If you're kind of like going back and forth, maybe there's a little bit of a power struggle. If you're in that kind of power struggle phase of your relationship, just like try to release any resentment or frustration. You know, release whatever is causing you this like mental chaos. For some of you, I feel like you might have to kind of release other people's opinions of this relationship. I don't know why. And I'm also getting try to work on releasing your expectations of what certain things need to look like. So like commitment, right? You know, if you have a very set expectation of what commitment looks like, maybe like open up your ideas, or, you know, really kind of examine those thoughts that you have around what commitment needs to look like. Because if you're happy with this person, if the time you spend together is enjoyable, and if you see progress forward, even if this person is a little slow to open up, if you see progress forward, you know, as long as that feels good enough for you, that's all that matters. Like it's you know, you two are the only ones in the relationship, and it needs to be governed by what you both think and feel about it, not anybody else's opinion. So I hope this has been helpful. You know, let me know in the comments if this resonates at all. If you need help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description down below. I have a variety of readings, but if you don't see anything that meets your specific spiritual or financial needs, please DM me, because I'm totally happy to make a custom reading for you. Anyway, that is, I believe, the long and short of that. So with that, I am going to move on to group 2. Group 1, it was an honor to have you here and to get to read your cards. Thank you so much, my sweet, sweet little garbanzo beans. Bye, guys. Yo, what is up, all my sweet little garbanzo beans who chose group 2 with this yellow candle. You see this little bad boy? So right off the bat, because you're attracted to the yellow candle, I feel like your person is very happy or makes you very happy. This person may be like very cheerful, maybe like likes to joke a lot. This person, I don't know why I'm getting this person might be outdoorsy, likes to be out in the sun quite a lot. But this person may, just like to joke, like to have fun. As you can tell, yellow is a favorite color of mine. But this person also may help you see things, because this makes me think of the sun, right? Solar plexus kind of energy. This may person, so maybe your person's born in May. But this person may just like help you see things, help like throw kind of cast some light on things, help enlighten you in some way by seeing things in a way that you had never really seen it before. This person also might really help you see things that lead to your self-empowerment more. It's just a very happy, really solid, optimistic kind of energy. So I really like that already. So I mentioned this with the last group. I usually read tarot reversals, but with the actual identifying court card, I'm going to read it upright, okay? So you guys got... look at that. No wonder we're vibing all the yellow. Awesome. Knight of Pentacles. Yes. 100%. Okay. So this person may be an earth sign. This would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but that does not have to be the case. So again, lots of yellow here. There's a lot of confidence. This person may, like I said before, I'm going to kind of try to talk about light and shadow attributes for this sort of energy. This person may be slow moving. This person may like to take their time in the connection, particularly in the dating phase. So if you're, just talking to them, or you guys are dating, but you're not, there hasn't been a commitment yet, this person may like to really, I burped, take their time. They might like to, with all the yellow here and the energy of enlightenment, they might like to kind of get a better feel for what they are agreeing to, in a sense. So what the relationship would look like before they dive in. Because the Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest knight in the deck, because he takes his time, right? And this is one of the things I like, that all of the Pentacles court cards, they have a yellow background, right? So they're the slowest moving energy. It's earth energy. But part of why I feel like they have a yellow background, so this is talking about confidence, joy, success, enlightenment, is because they take their time, right? They move forward confidently and happily because they take their time to really do their research, to really, think about and meditate on, reflect on if something is for them. So with the Knight of Pentacles, he takes his time to select his pentacle, to, take care of it, to craft it, to hone it, to nurture it. And he takes his time in, moving forward and bringing it forth to offer somebody. But when he does, the offer is solid, and it's because he's taken his time. So this is somebody who might take a while, but who is generally going to offer you a solid commitment. So this is also very much an energy of what they say. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. So if this person hasn't said much, I know that can be a little discouraging in the moment, but the upside to that is that this person is going to, when this person reaches out or this person makes you an offer, they mean it. And that kind of talks about the flip side of this energy, the shadow attributes. This person can sometimes take too long to decide, right? They take too much time because they're, the Knight of Pentacles energy is on their own wavelength, their own time scale. And it may be really hard if somebody doesn't quite understand that, or if somebody's on a very different time frame. So this person may be slow. This person may be really, really focused on their career or building up their material world. So again, this could be career. This could be focused on getting a home, on building up a nice little nest egg for themselves, on going back to school or whatever that may look like for them personally. But it is because they want to build something, and they really, when the Knight of Pentacles is in a relationship, they're really looking at the long term and how something's going to factor into the long term. So it does take them often a while to be able to make a definitive decision. So they may be, longer in the dating phase, or they may be more likely to enter into a situationship, and, hold off on offering a solid commitment. But the good part about it is that when they do, they are very confident in their decisions because they have thought about it. This person also may really want to help you with your material sort of situation. So this person may be very supportive of you, because yellow to me is also a very happy, supportive color. This person may be very supportive of you going after your dreams. This person, I don't know what I'm getting for a lot of you. This person's love language is very likely acts of service, hands down, or gift giving. But this person is likely very enthusiastic about supporting you reaching your dreams. So whether this is, they help you stay on track, they help you plan, maybe they do extra like chores for you, or they come over and they bring you dinner or something if they know you're working late, or just something like that. This person's going to find small ways of showing you that your dreams are equally important to them as their own, which is really nice. I like that quite a lot. I'm trying to see if I get anything else from this. I will say, it's, so it's not the king or queen, which are the most, the most evolved, the most mature of any of the tarot suits. But the thing about the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is very likely the most mature knight out of all four knights. And so, even though this person's not the king or queen, I feel like this person, again, is taking their time and is growing, is really trying to look ahead to the future to make something very, very solid. So this is a really nice energy. So far, there's been some really good energies. I like this. This person feels like they're a lot of fun too. Like this person feels like, kind of talking more about like the shadow attributes. This person may be a little bit stubborn. This person may be a little like addicted to their comfort zone. But I do feel like this person, they enjoy what they enjoy, which can be a little closed off sometimes, but can also be really, really sweet when it's like, I feel like this person, like when cats are just so comfortable, they like start like kneading their little claws on everything and purring because they're just so happy and they're so comfortable. This kind of feels like that person's energy. Like they really like what they like. Again, I feel like nothing is taken for granted with them. They may not offer you commitment really quickly, or they may take a while to make a decision on your connection. But I feel like every moment you spend together is genuinely appreciated for what it is. So I really like that. That's very, very pretty. But like I said, drawbacks could be this person might take their time. They might be a little bit slow. They may be a little bit afraid to commit. They may be a little bit focused elsewhere. So if you like having a partner that's like hyper focused on the relationship, this might not be the person. Because to me, the Knight of Pentacles can sometimes be just like a little bit more independent because they're really focused on building up themselves and their material stability, their careers, etc. But I do feel like this person really does care about you, and whatever stage you're at in the connection, I feel like this person is taking you seriously and wants to really make a conscious decision about where you belong in their lives, so that way when they make you offers, it's very, very sincere. This person, yeah, that's the word. This person is incredibly sincere. I feel like this person's very honest. So yeah, I like that. I like that for you guys. I'm going to pull some tarot to kind of clarify and dig a little bit deeper. I'm really bad at shuffling on camera. I'm sorry, but I'm trying because I want you guys to see the magic, Okie dokie. Oh, wow. All right, it was just going to be 3, but you guys got some extras. Okay. So. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying really hard to set them up so they look nice, but it is not happening. Oh, okay. So I was kind of talking about this in the last group. I think tarot positioning is very, very important in telling a story. So this is how I felt called to. I feel like this is stuff that your person has moved past and moved through. And this is kind of what they're heading toward, right? Because they're facing this way. So we have the 4 of Wands reversed. We have the Hierophant reversed. We have the 5 of Swords upright. And over here we have the Magician upright and the 2 of Cups reversed. So immediately what I'm seeing here, the first thing I get, I feel like this person had a very difficult home life. This may talk about, this is like the dissolution of like a marriage and a home, right? Because this is all about like, weddings, celebrations, stability, joy, with the full moon here, this is something coming to completion and fruition. The Hierophant upright can talk about tradition, but it can also talk about marriage. This is Taurus energy, so we have even more earth energy. So with these two reversed and then followed up with the Five of Swords, I feel like this person has been through some experiences, whether this is in like a marriage of their own, just depending on, you know, where they are in their life journey, or whether this is like maybe, you know, the home they grew up in, their parents' marriage. I feel like there was a lot of instability, and I feel like that's why stability is so important to this person. And I feel like that's why this person may have witnessed a lot of fighting, especially this feels like childhood home, right? So like, again, we have another full moon here. So there's a lot that had to be, and it's really interesting because it kind of mimics the pentacle right here. It looks like there's a lot that had to be released. I feel like it's also a super interesting look because they have the little pumpkins. So in this tarot deck, which is all Halloween themed, the pumpkins represent pentacles, the pentacle suit. So I feel like while they were growing up or at very formative times, again, whether this is in their own relationships or really what I'm feeling here is like family relationships growing up, I feel like they had to witness a lot of instability, right? The Five of Swords is a really difficult energy of people like, you know, it's when you're willing to do whatever to win. You know, this is like petty energy. This is like people who are very cutting with their words. These are people who like lash out and say whatever they need to say in the heat of the argument to win, and they don't think about the other person's feelings as much. They don't really think about the connection until, you know, they've already done the damage, which is why this little full moon looks so unimpressed. Can you guys see that? Like, look at that. Like, you could tell it's just like, again, Derek, come on. I don't know why it's Derek in this situation. Sorry, anybody named Derek. But yeah, I just feel like this person witnessed a lot of things falling apart, with these two, a lot of unhappiness. Or if there was any joy, I feel like it was also marked by chaos, right? There feels like there's a lot of back and forth. And again, with the Hierophant reverse, this could talk about a divorce. It's super interesting, right? None of these are the pumpkin suit, so the pentacle suit. But look, there's a pumpkin here, there's pumpkins here, and there's pumpkins right here. That's super interesting. So I do feel like this has shaped this person to the point where they will take their time. They will really let a connection sort of have some room to grow and see if it has potential before they offer anything. And you can see this even here with the, you know, this is what they're moving toward, the Magician and the Two of Cups reversed. Personal empowerment is very important to this person. And again, another big pentacle right here, or pumpkin, well, yes. Personal empowerment is very important to this person. Oof, sorry, I thought I had to burp. I mean, I did, but minimally. And I think it's because of this Two of Cups reversed, because I feel like they've watched love fall apart, and to them, when love kind of dissipates, it's highly associated with a lack of stability. So I feel like they are very, very cautious. They are very slow to move and to like, because this is, you know, card one of the major arcana. It's not the first card of the major arcana, but it's, you know, it's a new beginning that you're manifesting for yourself. So I feel like they are very cautious about what they manifest for themselves in terms of relationships. You know, this is a card about personal empowerment as well. So I feel like this person is focused primarily on their personal empowerment, and relationships are kind of like on the back burner for them at this point. But I also feel like they're very, very afraid of manifesting something that's unstable, and that this is a major motivating factor for them in how they choose a partner. I don't feel like this person is closed down to the idea of a relationship. I just feel like they are highly selective because of what they've experienced, and because I feel like this has probably created problems in relationships, and I feel like they are trying to learn from that. This person feels like a very open, trustworthy person. I just think they have probably been through a lot. And I feel like there is a fear with the Two of Cups reversed here of repeating the cycles that they've experienced, whether as a bystander or as a participant. So I want to pull you guys a Botanical Inspirations Oracle card to dig a little bit deeper into this situation. It's not this one. Sorry, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's that one. And I pull it out, I'm like, no, that's not the right energy. It is this one, though. Oh, I love this card. You guys got Iris, look at. So it's Rainbows and Messages. I always accidentally read it as Massages, and I'm like, wait, never mind. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this person has been through the rain, has been through the dark. This person still holds on to positivity. And that's why I feel like they may kind of have this like buffer space before they commit to something or before they open up more or whatever it may be, is because I feel like they really believe in love. They believe in the better nature of people. You know, again, there's so much yellow here. They believe in that kind of happiness, but I think they understand inherently that they have to, for them personally, they have to be very selective about who they open up to so they can maintain that positivity. And this person has been through a lot, and I feel like they are looking for their rainbow. You know, they are looking for somebody to be like the stars in the sky to them, but they are very particular about that process because there has been a lot of disappointment and a lot of pain. I feel like they are just, I wouldn't say they're shut down, but I do think they might be like a little tiny bit closed off. So they just kind of require some patience in that regard. If this is a connection that you're interested in pursuing further or pursuing at all. So I'm going to also pull some Sacred Geometry Activations Oracles. Oh my God, it's really hard. Okay. It's hard for me to shuffle these. My hands are not that big, if you can't tell. I'm a tiny lady. Okay. So, yeah, all right. Interesting. So we have Surrender. This is card 39, by the way, so that would be equivalent to a 12, so that would be a 3. And it says, the energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. What am I talking about, guys? And then we have awareness. So this is card 11. And it says the energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multidimensional world so that we create a reality we truly choose. Yes, this is totally it. Okay. So first of all, we have an 11 here. That tends to remind me of like twin flame energy, but does not necessarily have to be. But yeah, so I feel like this person is being challenged. Sorry, I'm trying to fix it. Is being challenged to surrender to their feelings because there's so much green here. So it's very heart chakra energy. And I feel like this person is trying to move in that direction. I just feel like this person may kind of struggle with that at times. And with this awareness card, maybe it's because of your connection, or maybe it's because of a bunch of different things, because there's so many different types of imagery right here. I feel like they are, this kind of reminds me also of the Magician energy a little bit. I feel like they are becoming aware of the impact that this has had on them, and that they are trying to open up more and surrender more to that flow of love and life and really create the reality that they would like. And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier with, they may have like a little bit more strict or set boundaries as a way of, boundaries are kind of like I heard it described this way once and I loved it. It's like if you imagine building a fence, right? It's not necessarily as much to keep people out as it is to keep what's inside the fence safe, right? So if you create boundaries, that allows, within the space of those boundaries, that allows you to feel open and trusting and to be your most authentic self. And that should really be the purpose of boundaries, is for your own safety and for you to be able to live your life vulnerably and authentically, and that your boundaries are there to help protect and support you. And that's why everybody needs to put up their own boundaries and choose their own boundaries and support themselves and sticking with them. And so that's what I kind of feel like is going on here. This person might have stronger boundaries, especially in the beginning of getting to know somebody, but this is because when they let somebody in, I feel like they're very warm, they're very caring, they're very loving, and it's like this energy of I don't want to spend that on the wrong connection. I don't want to I feel like this person's aware of, because there may have been a lot of fighting in their past, I feel like this person's aware of the cumulative degradation and its effect on the relationship. There we go. A fight isn't going to or shouldn't destroy a relationship, but constant fighting, constant criticism, constant instability over time does. So I feel like this person would rather wait and would rather take the time and really make sure you're on the same page than get very emotionally invested in a relationship that falls apart with fighting every 2 minutes essentially. So that's really nice. So this person I feel like is a really good person, a very honest person. They just might need a little bit more time before they're ready to commit to something. And I will say for some of you with the Magician and the Two of Cups reversed, this person's main focus really may be like making something for themselves, making their own personal empowerment, and relationships may really be on the back burner. So it's not that I think this person's closed off to it. I just think it's not going to be their top priority. Just depending on where you are, in your life journey, and where they are in theirs. I feel like this person's might want to be achieving something in their career or in their education before they go to have a solid relationship commitment. So that's just something to keep in mind, and you'll know if that resonates with you, but that's just like a little side note. So I want to pull one more tarot card for your advice. What's advice we can offer to sweet baby group 2? Okay, so whoa, Wheel of Fortune, beautiful. Okay, this is great advice. This is just what we're talking about. So this is card 10 of the Major Arcana. So this is already talking about the completion of a cycle, but this is the Wheel of Fortune and it's upright. This is saying that things are going to shift in your favor, especially in this connection. If somebody has been very focused on their career or their material wealth, or they've maybe put the relationship on the back burner, they've been slow to open up, things will shift and change in your favor. Good luck is on your side, and things are going to transform. So this is beautiful. I think this is everything I have for group 2. If you need help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box. If you don't see anything there that meets your specific spiritual or financial needs, please feel free to DM me because I'm totally happy to make a custom reading. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you guys the best and most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye. What is up, my sweet little garbanzo beans who have chosen group 3? So this means you were attracted to the purple candle. Right away, the person you're asking about, sorry, I had to move to get comfortable. The person you're asking about may be a very spiritually gifted person, maybe very spiritually aware or inclined. But this person, you have a spiritual partnership with this person. You have a spiritual contract that you have to fulfill, like a soul contract with one another. But you also, I feel like, have, like this person's got an important place along your spiritual path. There we go. This person, you may have a psychic connection with this person. You may experience some amount of like telepathy or just like a third eye chakra connection. Like you may be thinking of this person and then they call you. Maybe you're on your phone and you're like, oh, this meme reminds me of them, and then they send you the same one, or you may have like a lot of the same ideas at the same time. I just feel like you and this person have a lot of moments where you're very much in sync. I kind of get the feeling that I get this feeling of deep understanding. Like maybe you and this person don't always talk a lot, but you're, again, that telepathic connection. You're able to understand each other. You're able to feel each other's energy, and you're able to really like understand each other deeply at the soul. I feel like this is both like soul energy and like emotional energy, and it feels like you don't have to explain yourself to them, and they don't have to really explain themselves to you in the same way you would have to with other people. You just naturally understand each other. Now I will say I'm kind of picking up the vibe that for some of you, this person is very much meant to be an activating presence in your spiritual, like along your spiritual path and in your own growth, but this may not be an easy relationship per se, and no relationship is easy. They all have their own challenges, but you know what I mean. This may not always be the easiest relationship. There might be a lot of mirroring. There may be a lot of having to kind of look deep within to really, you might be forced to look at parts of yourself that you don't normally look at, and they would be as well. This is a two-way street in that situation. So for some of you, this may be somebody where it's kind of off and on again. You break up, make up a lot. This could be somebody that you're in separation with, or that you have been separated from for a long time. I'm getting the feeling, just because this feels like a very important connection in your life, along your life journey, that for some of you, there's going to be this period of separation and of kind of like retracting or withdrawing, pulling away to kind of integrate what you have taught each other. So let's look at what court card your person is coming out as. Now, I did say this with the other groups. I usually read tarot reversals, and I will for the additional tarot that we're going to pull, but just for the court card that represents them, I'm reading them upright. So yeah. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. I love it. Okie dokie. So yeah, your person may be an earth sign. I'm just moving my legs so I don't bump the camera again. Your person may be an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They may be a more of a divine feminine energy, but they certainly do not have to be. When I say divine feminine, divine masculine energies, I mean them speaking about the energy that somebody possesses, not about their gender identity. So this can be applied to any gender identity. But yeah, I feel like this person is likely very nurturing to you and you to them. There's a lot of blue mountains in the background, so I feel like this person has overcome a lot of emotional obstacles, particularly around self-expression and the realization of their own truth is what I'm feeling. And I feel like this person helps you through those obstacles for yourself as well. This person is likely a very grounding presence. This person, I feel like, helps you mellow out and helps keep you very, very calm. This person, I'm kind of getting the feeling this person is very almost slow and methodical. I feel like this person is kind of subject to, it's not even their own timing, because the last group got the Knight of Pentacles, and that was kind of the vibe. This feels like they are subject to Spirit's timing in particular, and they're not really bothered with the rest of how anything else unfolds. I feel like that's where this confidence with all this yellow and all this growth, that's where this comes from, because I feel like they trust in the universe implicitly, even if they don't call it that, or even if they're not conscientiously doing that. I feel like that's just their natural disposition, is they trust in the ebb and flow of divine timing. And with a little rabbit image right here too, I feel like that's brought them a lot of luck and a lot of fertility, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunities, to the point where they definitely they trust it. And I feel like this person has likely been very tuned into the universal energies for a very long time. And it's just really proven time and time again to be a productive energy for them. Because it's important to cover both, light and shadow attributes. This person, I do feel like a drawback with this person is, again, because they're very much on Spirit's timing. I feel like sometimes they may have a hard time articulating why they do what they do, so there might be a lot of confusion. I feel like sometimes maybe this person may have a hard time getting in touch with their feelings a little bit. I could also see that with the blue mountains, is these are their kind of emotions, and it's off in the distance because she's looking at and focusing on her pentacle instead. But I feel like this person's kind of almost in their own world a little bit in a spiritual way. This person might need a lot of downtime or alone time. This person, I feel like, is very energetically sensitive, and this person might need a lot of downtime to recharge. So that might be tough for you if you're more of a social person, or if you don't need as much recharge time. That might be a little bit tough, especially in the beginning. If they're not communicating their needs, I could see them just kind of going a little bit MIA. because they're not explaining to you that they need time alone. Again, I feel like this person is very much in alignment with spirit, in alignment to their spiritual path, to the point where they follow it without questioning it, but they also follow it without really examining it, and that might make it hard for them to fully communicate what is going on with them. So I'm going to try to see if I get anything else before we keep moving on. I also kind of feel like this person, very grounded, which is beautiful. I feel like this person might sometimes be really good at maintaining, but they might struggle with building, which I don't normally get that for Pentacles. I'm so sorry. Can't stop coughing. I don't usually get that for Pentacles, but I feel like this person's very good, especially if this person is very energetically sensitive. They might get depleted really easily, and as a result, I think they like to try to keep their lives very simple in order to help them be as balanced and, on as even a keel as possible. But this may make it hard for them to add new things to their lives, or they might not be as much of a go-getter energy. They feel like they're very much in their receptive energy. They're very much about drawing things to them. Again, total trust in spirit. Sorry, there's cat fur on this candle because there's cat fur all over my life. But, I think that could be a difficult aspect. Because this is kind of like a slow moving energy, and this is very much that receptivity. So I feel like that might be hard if you are kind of more of really passionate, very fiery, like a go-getter. If you are, if you're more like assertive, that might be sometimes tough to navigate. Again, I feel like the biggest thing that might be difficult about this person, is that it might be very, very hard to fully understand their motivations all the time. I feel like they struggle to communicate that really heavily, especially where I just can't stop looking at her, looking at the Pentacle. I feel like this person may have a tendency to get almost hyper focused on what they're thinking about, working on, to the point where they lose track of everything else. And I feel like they almost get lost in their own little world a lot. To the point where I feel like it's hard for them to fully communicate what they're thinking, what they're trying to achieve, what their goals are, what their priorities are. I feel like that's their biggest struggle, because with the blue here too, this can be throat chakra energy, so self-expression can be a very, very difficult thing for them. I'm just getting the image of, with all this growth, somebody's built this beautiful, fertile, abundant, flowering garden for themselves, and when you go, oh my god, how did you do that? They're like, how did I do what? It's just this very gentle, very sweet energy, but I feel like sometimes they get lost in it, and they might have a really hard time communicating and fully expressing what is going on. And again, I feel like they have this very spiritual connection, this divine connection with spirit, that they have a very hard time articulating. This may be something where they've been very open to spirit ever since they were young. And I feel like it's such a part of their lives that's so deeply ingrained that they don't even think to question it. So they may be somebody who's very led by, for example, intuitive nudges, right? So if you're saying, and with the rabbit here, I think this has been a source of a lot of luck for them. So if you say, okay, well, why do you think we should do this? If they say, I don't know, I just think we should. That might be kind of what they're talking about. They might be talking about their intuition. But if they're so tuned in and they're so used to following those promptings and those nudges, they may have a lot of difficulty fully expressing their methods, their thoughts, their reasons why. And I feel like this is also the kind of energy of somebody who may get really attached to following their intuitive nudges, to the point where, this would be like, oh, I think we should try this. And if you say, okay, why? They might be like, oh, I don't know, I just think we should. And if you try to do something differently, they might get very upset, like, no, we really should do this. That may be what they're talking about, is because they're getting these intuitive promptings, and they can't. It's really funny. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. Because I feel like it's just solely mostly miscommunication. I feel like they're getting this intuitive prompting and they can't fully explain it. So they're just but they feel very, very compelled to follow it. So sometimes things they do may not make sense because there's this whole other world happening for them, like in their head, this whole other world happening in the soul, in their heart, that they're connecting with their spiritual team, that they might struggle to be able to put into words for you, particularly if they're not as open to their spiritual path or practice yet. This may just be something that goes on internally under the surface that they have no awareness of. So it's so funny. It's a really sweet energy. This person feels like a really like nice person. But yeah, so, and this is why they also may prefer to communicate non-verbally. Like they may just really enjoy like meditating with you or sitting and enjoying the energy. They may not be much for conversation, or they may like to listen to you but not really talk a whole lot. And I feel like it's just because they're very sensitive and because they're perceiving so much from every interaction that even the smallest things, like just sitting together and not talking, are incredibly fulfilling and gratifying for them. I feel like this person's very appreciative. I just want to say that really quickly too. I feel like this person's very, very appreciative. This person doesn't take a moment for granted in life in general, and this applies to their interpersonal relationships. I feel like just because the nature of how their energy works and how they receive information and how they absorb energy, I feel like they probably have a smaller number of close connections, but I feel like those people are very important to them. And I feel like this is the kind of person where they meet many people along their path, but they're shorter interactions. It's very serendipitous, and they are very caring, and they tend to and they take care of the people who are in their lives long term. So just wanted to mention that. So I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Botanical Inspirations deck to kind of talk oh wait, what am I doing? I'm doing tarot first. Oh my god. You know what? I'm going to stick with it because I felt called to do it. So we're going to do that, and then I'll pull you more tarot. Because I didn't feel the need to do that for any other group. So I want to examine that a little bit closer. So you guys got Morning Glory. Ooh, can you see that? I can't get it to focus. Oh no. It's okay, I have focus problems too. I put it really close? No, I'm like playing the trombone with it. Okay, that's fine. It says affection and determination. Then the quote that goes with it is, "The morning glory, which blooms for a day, differs not at heart from the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years." Alan Watts. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like this is this person's personality. Again, affection and determination. I feel like this person's a morning person. I don't know why, but I definitely get that vibe, like early to bed, early to rise. But yeah, this is exactly it. Like, I feel like because this person's very connected to spirit, I feel like time does not move the same way for them. I feel like time does not matter in the same way for them. This is what I mean. I feel like they're on their own timing. They're on spirit's time. They take their time. And this may be, things may happen quickly. Things may take a while because it all just depends on those intuitive nudges that they're getting in their own personal spiritual timing. And what I'm kind of getting from this is that they are equally grateful, and there's a lot of purple here too. They are equally grateful and equally loving whether something lasts for a day or for a lifetime, because they understand and recognize and appreciate the value of it as part of their soul's journey, as part of this life journey. So this is why kind of like what I'm picking up on, what we were talking about earlier, where this person may be part of your life for a little while, or this person could be a long-term player in your life. There could be separation between the two of you at the moment, or maybe down the line. But however much time you spend together, this person treasures your time together. This person cherishes all of it, the ups, the downs, everything, because this person recognizes that you are part of each other's spiritual path for a reason, and this person doesn't take that for granted at all. So I think that's really beautiful. That's a really underrated energy, but I really like that. So let me pull you guys some tarot. I'm trying to shuffle on camera. It is not my strong suit. Woof. Okay. Well, these two flipped themselves upright, so we're going to take it like that. Okay. And I feel like these go over here. So far, I've been really utilizing placement of the cards. Is that only one? Is that two? Hang on. No, it does belong over here. I've been really utilizing, whoa, okay. Yeah, I'm really utilizing placement of the cards in this one to kind of talk more about people's energy. Sorry that I'm right next to the mic, so it's a little louder. So I'm going to kind of touch on that a little bit as well. This one? No, it's this one. Okay. Here we go. So I feel like these two go over here, and I'm going to start with these two. We have, okay, there it is, the 10 of Imps, which would be the 10 of Wands. I cannot get it to focus. I apologize. 10 of Wands reversed. Oh, okay, and the 5 of Swords reversed. Okay. So this is kind of where this person is coming from because she's facing this way. And I'll actually put these other cards up here. Yeah. So you also got Temperance. So this is Sagittarian energy, by the way. This could be their sign, your sign, but it certainly doesn't have to be. You guys got the Tower. Yeah, if I can get it to stand up. Oof, okay, and the Page of Bats, which would be the Page of Swords in this deck. Okay, yeah. So where this person is coming from, I like that these both have full moons on it. This person's gone through many cycles. This person's also had to, I feel like this person's had to end a lot of things. I feel like, just the feeling I'm kind of getting from this person, I feel like they're very loving. I feel like they practice, like, non-attachment a lot. I feel like they might be quick to walk away for, like, I feel like they're very, again, in tune and aware. And I think because this is the Queen, right, and the King and Queen are always the most matured out of all the court cards, I feel like something this person has really worked on is tapping into that, like, conduit to spirit, tapping into that spiritual knowledge in order to make decisions. And I feel like this has played out in their interpersonal connections, especially in some very, very difficult ones. Because if you notice too, all of the little dolls that they're carrying on the 10 of Wands in this particular deck all look like little devils. So I feel like this person has been through a lot of, and it's really interesting too, because normally in the tarot, the card that goes between Temperance and the Tower is the Devil. I feel like this person has been through a lot of very difficult situations, especially with this 5 of Swords reversed. Excuse me. Situations where they felt like there was no way to win. The 5 of Swords with upright can talk about really like petty, difficult, passive-aggressive, not even passive-aggressive energies, just like full-on aggressive. You know, when it's upright, this is somebody who will say whatever they need to say in the moment to win the argument, regardless of like how much it hurts somebody. They're just like, they feel so emotionally triggered that they lash out, and they're often very cruel and cutting with their words in the heat of the moment, and this is really like negatively impacting their relationships. So when it's reversed, this is kind of saying, like, asking you to look at, relationships in your life where maybe you're that person or maybe you're dealing with a person like that and saying, is this worth it? And I feel like with this combination, they've had a lot of difficult cycles, particularly with interpersonal connections. And I feel like they've had to learn how to trust themselves and spirit's timing. Now with the blue mountains here, and we talked about this difficulty in being able to fully express themselves, I feel like they might be prone to, instead of trying to, like, I do feel like they'll try to work it out, but I feel like they may be prone to walking away from a situation that they just know intuitively is not good for them. And this may cause problems because, again, if they struggle to really fully articulate what they're feeling and what they're thinking, this may look like they're just walking off from people, but that's not at all the case, right? So especially if they're, if they're like slow to open up about their life, if it's kind of like, oh, I've noticed they've had a lot of small relationships, or, they're not close with their family, or they don't have a lot of close friends. This is because they are a very sensitive person, an energetically sensitive person. They are very attuned to their spiritual calling, whether they know it or not. They're very attuned to their spirituality and to their frequency, like their highest spiritual frequency. And I feel like this has been part of their soul's path in order to help them connect with those parts of themselves. But the issue being is that sometimes I think it can be hard for them to express, and this could come from like a whole lifetime, like an entire past of being overlooked or being, told like, oh, you're too sensitive, or, trying to explain this kind of sensitivity, this kind of like connection to spirit, and being, maybe mocked or told that that's bad, or just like, kind of being met with confusion. I feel like there's just been a lot of like tumultuous relationships throughout their lives, and especially with this person being very energetically sensitive, if there's a lot of fighting, if there's a lot of difficult petty energy, a lot of lashing out, this really drains this person, because not only is that painful to deal with, and that doesn't feel good for anybody, but this drains this person super badly. So not only is that difficult, not only can that really hurt that person, but especially because I'm really noticing this little boy's got his mask on, and everybody's in costume. I feel like this person maybe doesn't say everything about themselves, but they try to be as authentic as possible. I feel like they don't try to hide things. And I feel like this person's very genuine, especially very genuine in their affections. I feel like they're very, very, like, they focus on love and what they love, and they focus on that kind of universal love energy, to the point where when somebody's kind of hiding, when somebody's being less than honest, less than authentic, I feel like it almost like rubs them the wrong way, or it can be painful for them, or it can just like hurt them. So I feel like they've had a lot of situations in their lives, especially with the 2 full moons, where they've had to release these types of energies, with having them all be like the little devils. I feel like they've had to kind of come up against toxic programming and rewrite it and release anything that is very triggering of that very toxic programming, because I feel like this person, whether they're aware of it or not, has been spiritually awakened, or at least gone through their first major spiritual awakening, and they're just very tuned in and very sensitive. And that kind of brings us to this energy of like where they're going. So this is kind of where they're heading. This is really positive, I think. I know people don't like the Tower that much, but it's nice because, where they're heading, this is like, this person is spiritually curious. They want to learn. They want to make magic. They want to help heal people. This person feels like a natural healer. I'm also getting too, with all the ghosts here, this person may be like gifted with channeling or mediumship. They're just very connected to the spirit world, and I feel like anything revolving around that, they are very animated, they are very excited. I also noticed there's like little mountains and stars in the background of this, which I've never noticed before. So I feel like this person is willing to totally release all of the obstacles of the past when it comes to their spirituality. So when it comes to, and this may manifest differently for everybody, but maybe they found their spiritual calling, maybe they found their dream job, their dream career, or raising a family is very important, or they're going back to school for something. But this person's very curious. This person is very open toward this new part of their lives and toward the things that really spark spiritual curiosity and interest for them. And they're very animated. They're very excitable. Because I feel like this person just wants to help. This person just wants to heal. This person, I feel like, comes into people's lives when they're going through these Tower moments of huge transition and upheaval, and this person kind of helps show people a new way of being, right? Helps start people along their spiritual path, and that's part of the magic of this person. So this is really beautiful. I'm going to pull a couple of the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracles, kind of like sum up the end of this recommendation. I'm going to pull this one. No, I don't. I want to pull, sorry about that, it's this one. So let's see what we get. So, you guys got, what did I fucking say, you guys? Sorry, I know I shouldn't be cursing, but I'm so excited. 7th chakra, boom. All right. Let's see what else we got. In 1st chakra, okay. Wow. All right. So this person is spiritually gifted. So we have the 1st and the 7th chakra. First of all, again, This person is very tuned in psychically. This person has a very active crown chakra. So this person gets a lot of messages from their team. This person's very, very plugged into source energy, into their spiritual team. Like, to the point where I feel like this person almost prefers the company of their spiritual team to most other people. So if this person lets you in any capacity for any amount of time, you're something different, you're something special. And particularly if you have been a part of this person's life for a long time, I feel like that is very, very unique. I'm also just noticing there's a little eye here, and it's making me think of like third eye energy with the owl, to the point where I feel like this person probably has some clairvoyance specifically, just because it's making me think of hanging up art. So this person, like, I feel like might be very heavily clairvoyant, but this person also sees the beauty in their spiritual vision. I'm really seeing that. But yeah, so this one says, the energy of the crown chakra supports our feeling of being connected to a higher power and part of a larger whole. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, this is this person all day. And we have card 7, and then the tower is 16, which would be a 7 because 1 + 6. And then I love that we also have first chakra here. So this is the energy of the root chakra supports our sense of safety in a physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. Yeah, and I feel like again, this person feels like they're very grounded. So when I see the first and then the 7th chakra, I feel like this person may help other people with their awakening, just because it makes me think of like Kundalini energy, like up through your chakras. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if you guys know that. But like this makes me think of that this person helps awaken other people. And I think this is part of this person's spiritual path and their life purpose. They may find people when they're in this tower moment. And, you know, the way I kind of view the tower sometimes, because, you know, like I said, the devil comes before the tower and the star, which is all about like healing among many things, but healing comes after. When we're in these tower moments, I feel like it's an opportunity to clear away what's no longer serving us, what's not stable for us, and then to invite in the healing of the star. But we can also double down and go backwards toward that devil energy. And I feel like this person attracts people who are going through their tower moments in order to help guide them in toward, you know, that new energy of the star. Because I'm looking at this person's like looking over their shoulder but walking toward the tower. So again, I feel like your person attracts people who are like walking right into their tower energy, and helps guide them forward, helps them guide them into their awakening, essentially, and especially with morning glory, helps wake them up, and does so very gently with a lot of, you know, enthusiasm, curiosity, and a lot of love. So this person's really cool. I wish I knew this person. Anyway, I'm going to pull you guys a final tarot card of advice. Whoop, okay. I'm going to put these right here. Hang on. Shuffling on camera is not a strength of mine. I want to take both of these, so I'm gonna. Sorry, this reading's going a little long, but you guys got some extra spicy stuff, so. Okay. 3 of Imps, which would be the 3 of Wands, reversed. Ooh, and Justice reversed. Okay, so Libra energy right here. Honestly, what I'm getting with this is, the first thing I kind of heard is don't try to control this situation, which is really, really hard. We have yet another full moon and yet another full moon. I feel like this person, like I said, has mastered the art of healthy amounts of detachment. This person has learned to love without being attached to a particular outcome, and has learned to truly appreciate everyone and every experience as part of their spiritual journey, as part of their soul's path. And so what I'm kind of getting here is, you know, it is kind of like, don't try to control the outcome of this, as tempting as it may be, because things will always balance out in the end. You know, the 3 of Wands, when it's upright, can talk about your ships are finally coming in. It can also talk about being at a distance from this person, or, having to wait for them. So the kind of vibe I'm getting here is things are going to happen in their own divine timing. Things will have to balance out, because I feel like this person works with a lot of high level spiritual energies. This person may be a conduit for spiritual energies. So there may be a lot at play here that you're not privy to, or that's not easily observable from the surface. So to me, this is like very much a divine connection, a divine energy, and that's not really something that you can feasibly control and expect the best outcome, right? Sometimes we are in those situations where we can have our highest good, or we can have control, and sometimes you can't have both. So this is kind of just like the main advice I'm picking up here, is that Spirit's on this, Spirit's working on it, to live your life, to be yourself, to go after what you want to go after, and know that if this person's meant to be in your life long term, they will be. And I know nobody wants to hear that, because it's very difficult. But there are higher universal laws at play here. There's bigger things at play than what's on the surface. And so it requires trust, and it requires a higher spiritual perspective, because this person has a lot to accomplish in this lifetime, spiritually speaking. And it requires that they're able to do the work they need to do when they need to do it. And it also requires, if you're not a particularly spiritually inclined person, which is totally fine, it requires that you understand that that's the focus of their life, even if they have not articulated that to you in words. To understand that, if this kind of resonates, you've seen them do this, you've seen them they might be a natural healer, a natural helper. They may have that inclination where they're like, I met this person and they're interested in this thing, so I found a bunch of good content channels for them. I lent them this book. I'm going to go over and talk to them about this, and we're going to hang out tonight. Stuff like that. This is them carrying out their spiritual mission and their spiritual path. And if you want something more long-term with this person, you really have to be supportive of that. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily believe what they believe, or you have to do it with them, but it means you have to be supportive of them really living that life and walking that path, because it's part of who they are. They can't help it. And it's part of why they're here, and they are important in what they do. So these are just things to keep in mind if you are, looking to be, or you are already romantically involved with this person. So I hope that has helped for my group 3s. If you need help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description down below. I have a bunch of different readings, but if you don't see something that meets your specific spiritual or financial needs, please DM me, because I'm happy to make a custom reading for you. So with that, that's everything I have for my sweet little garbanzo beans who chose group 3, and I am going to move on to group 4. Take care, guys. Hello to all my sweet little garbanzo beans who picked group 4. So if you were attracted to group 4 with this green candle, I feel like the person that you are asking about is likely they live very much from their heart. And it may not always seem like that, but everything they do is from an emotional lens, I guess. I get the feeling this person might be prone to being very sentimental in their own right. I feel like this person tries to find little ways of expressing their feelings, especially if this person feels very, very deeply, and that has not always been appreciated in the past. I feel like this person may have learned to kind of tone down their emotional expression, but I do feel like this person is a very feeling person. I feel like this person is always, this person's really open to other people's feelings. This person will help you emotionally quite a lot. This person also may help you to grow emotionally. And with all the green here too, this person may have helped you heal a really big wound or issue, or maybe in the process of helping you with that. this person feels like a nurturer, but there's something about it where it feels unexpected. Like maybe they're really like stern externally or like in public, but behind closed doors they're like super duper, they're like jelly on the inside. But this person is very, at least like if they're not like this in general, this is how they're feeling for you. But I kind of feel like this is like sort of, you know, reserved for people who are very important for them. But this person's ultimately a lover more than a fighter. This person is very affectionate in the way that makes sense for them to express it. So let's see what court card represents your person. I will say, as I've said with the other groups, I read tarot usually with reversals, but solely for the court card that represents them, I'm going to read them upright. So yeah. Yep. Okay, I didn't look at these either. I love that. That's awesome. Yep. Knight of Cups. Absolutely. So this person may be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, so that could be you. But they could have important water placements in their chart. Yes, this is the guy or the girl, the person that wears their heart on their sleeve. Absolutely. Because it's the Knight and not the King or Queen, who kind of represent the full maturation of any particular, court card kind of arc. Because it's the Knight, I think this person probably still has some emotional maturing to master. So this person may need to learn how to better cope with their emotions when they feel challenged. This person could be very sensitive to criticism. This person may at times kind of be very quick to fall in love. And it's not that I don't get the feeling this person's trying to play you. Some people think this is a Casanova energy. I don't think that's the case. This person does feel like they really like that connection though. They really they like to connect emotionally. This feels good for them. So they may be prone to to be in relationships or to date a lot. They just feel like they love. Or they may really enjoy the dating phase, that honeymoon phase. I definitely think about the Knight of Cups like that. So I do feel like this person, because I'm thinking about the King of Cups, has, he sits on this concrete slab where his throne is, and the waters behind him are raging. But he's very, very calm, right? So he's learned how to deal with a lot of emotional situations that might kind of almost be chaotic or feel like upheaval to other people. He's learned how to deal with his emotions through that, whereas the Knight kind of hasn't yet. But I will say, I feel like because we have the desert here and we have the little river, so the water's really still, which might indicate that maybe, when things are pretty placid, he's at his best, but when things do get turbulent, he hasn't quite figured out how to manage that. And I'm just saying he because it's the Knight, that doesn't have to refer to your person. But I feel like your person refuses to give up because, this is a desert scenario, but they're following their emotions. So even when it almost doesn't make sense, or even when their better judgment kind of tells them to, hold off, hang back, not get involved or invested in somebody, I feel like he's cool. Okay. So anyway, I love this person. This person wears their heart on their sleeve and then some. It's really sweet. But again, I feel like this person may follow their feelings sometimes, but struggle with backing it up or having longevity. I feel like this person struggles when things get hard in a relationship. Getting through that honeymoon phase, especially that power struggle phase of the relationship life cycle, may be hard for them. But we all have things that we need to kind of grow on. It's super interesting because we had a king come up, we had a queen, and then we've had two knights come up. So overall, I love the fact we didn't get any pages. These are more mature energies. So this is nice. But overall, the Knight of Cups is really sweet. I will say the shadow energy, like I said, lacking longevity, and maybe struggling with that emotional turbulence, and struggling to stay emotionally even keeled when that happens might be an issue here. And the Knight of Cups, when he's like, reversed or disempowered, sometimes that can kind of talk to me about not really being realistic in their emotional expectations. So maybe this is the kind of person where they're very sensitive and they kind of expect you to always know what they're feeling or almost like read their mind. And they may struggle to fully communicate their feelings, or they may struggle to tell you if they don't feel good, right? They may struggle to kind of communicate that to you because, again, I feel like this person really likes the honeymoon phase of a relationship. And I feel like, when the Knight of Cups is disempowered, this can also talk to or like speak about, struggling emotionally. So this can kind of talk about like, maybe depression or anxiety or other mental health issues. And I'm not a mental nor physical health professional, and nothing I say should be substituted for professional advice or diagnosis. But this is just kind of what I associate with the Knight of Cups when he's not doing so hot. And so that can kind of be, more of like a shadow energy of this kind of archetype. But in addition to that, like I said, struggling with longevity. And then there's one other thing I wanted to say, and I'm like, if I like recap and I go over all the list again, maybe it will come back to me. What is it, you guys? What is it? I can almost think of it. I don't know why too, but I'm just noticing his little visor. I've never noticed that before. I don't know why. And I just like imagined it like falling down. So I feel like there is something where when he's determined, when he has his sights set on something, emotionally, I feel like he can kind of put the blinders down and maybe ignore problems. Or like, again, very much loves the honeymoon phase and may struggle to fully acknowledge and deal with problems in relationships or in their emotional landscape. Gosh, I had another point, and it has since floated out of my brain space. But if it comes back, I will definitely mention it. So yeah, let's pull some tarot to find out more about this person. So I've been utilizing the placement of the tarot to kind of tell me more about this person. So cards that, are going to be on this side are kind of talking about where they're coming from, and this sort of talking about what they're focused on. It wasn't supposed to be like that, but it turned into that. So I like it. I'm gonna keep it because I think placement of tarot is an incredibly important thing. This is over here. And then this is also over here. Do I need any more? No? Okay, cool. So let me just flip these. Okay. The Sun reversed. And then the Hierophant reversed. I'm going to flip their other ones too. Oh my God. So good. The Star. And then the Two of Cups. All right. This is beautiful. And I'm going to tell you why. Excellent. Fantastic. So where they're coming from. This may be like in their own personal life, or I'm really feeling childhood, especially because we have the Sun here. And the Sun first of all, Hierophant is Taurus energy, so that may be applicable. And the Sun is Leo energy. So Leo energy can also talk about, it's fifth house energy, can talk about, our kind of like almost inner child, like joys and passions. And so sometimes when it comes out reversed, depending on what we're talking about, especially in the situation where I'm talking about, their past, what they've experienced, I kind of view this as like inner child, like healing kind of stuff. So together, what I'm sort of seeing and reading with this is I feel like there may have been, it's really interesting because this card actually came out for group 1 as well, or no, group 2, excuse me. And I'm getting the similar message. But it's also really fascinating because the Two of Cups came out for group 2 as well, but it was reversed in that group. So I feel like this is kind of talking about this person may have witnessed a lot of struggles when it comes to love, especially in a marriage, because the Hierophant can kind of talk about that, or any other committed relationship. And I feel like this has affected them. This like made them, I feel like this, because I'm really noticing like this little, this little trail here. And I feel like there's this energy of, this feels like when things go wrong, right? and I'm just getting this image of like one of the cats like pulling on it and like totally unwrapping the whole body. So I feel like, I don't know why, what I'm getting from this particular energy is that there is an important relationship this person has witnessed, whether this was like their parents or, you know, an important relationship when they were younger that was really crucial to them and impactful. I feel like there is a situation where it felt like it unraveled, and I feel like this now affects them, where it's that energy of I don't want to pull at strings lest the entire thing unravel. I feel like there's this just like an anxiety around coping with unpleasant emotional stuff. Again, this person loves love because that's the safe place for them to be. And I feel like with the sun reversed, this probably could use, like, this needs healing. This is something that they have to deal with, because I feel like this was very painful for them. This was very difficult for them. And, you know, the nice thing about the sun, it's always positive no matter what, even when it's reversed. You know, it's the most positive card in the tarot. It's like a big hell yes. But when I see it reversed, it kind of means like it's a yes, but. So this is like, it's like a softer yes, where it's like, okay, yes, but it may take more time than you're expecting, you know, yes, but you have to stay positive, or yes, but it might look different than what you were expecting, you know, or there may be some twists and turns first. It's kind of saying what you want is there, it's going to happen, but it's just going to, it's not exactly when or how you're picturing it, or, you know, there's got to be some adjustments that have to be made, right? And so this combination makes me feel like this person witnessed this very important relationship fall apart. And I feel like they wrongly made the association in their mind that it was because of this energy of like, you know, addressing problems, recognizing problems was the thing that like destroyed their, you know, this relationship. So maybe there's a lot of fighting, maybe there's a lot of like hypercritical behavior, whether this was, you know, spoken aloud, or, you know, one parent venting about the other, etc., etc. There's this thing of like pulling on, you know, what's holding your relationship together, like pulling on it and then unraveling the whole thing. And I feel like this person's very afraid of repeating that cycle. And with the sun reversed, I feel like this can be healed. I feel like this person really wants to have this like beautiful, positive, loving relationship. This person may be engaging in some self-healing work, or that may be kind of something that they're being nudged or prompted to do. And they may be a little bit resistant to that, honestly, because it's reversed. But I do feel like this person is very positive in their, you know, in their heart and soul, because we have the sunflowers, and the sunflowers always follow the sun. This person tries to stay very positive. This person tries to see the best in people, and I do feel like that's a legitimate part of their personality, but I think it's almost like hyper emphasized to the point where it's not always healthy because of this situation. So this is something that, you know, maybe they're aware of this, maybe they're not, maybe they've already done the healing work, or they still need to do the healing work. Because the sun is reversed, I'm feeling that maybe they are in the process of healing, or they still have some healing to do. It's just something to be mindful of in general, that this person may not always tell you when something is bothering you. This person, I feel like, sweeps things under the rug until it hits a point of like critical mass and impact, right? Because again, you know, the King of Cups has like able to deal with those tumultuous emotions and stay grounded and emotionally stable and mature, and the Knight of Cups isn't quite there yet. So this is very much that energy of like excuse me, of I feel like they sweep conflict under the rug until they have to deal with it, because they're afraid it's going to be too emotionally like overstimulating or triggering for them. So it's just something to keep in mind, like if you are in a relationship with this person or pursuing a relationship, you know, or maybe this is something where you want to have an important conversation and they push it off because they might be afraid that you're going to say something that they're not prepared for. So I feel like, you know, if this is somebody you are with or you want to be with, just being hyper aware and making especially if you're very confident with having discussions, exchanges, and conflict, you might be somebody that's very articulate, very easily able to identify all your feelings and to be able to, talk about them. Or maybe, you might be the kind of person where like a little bit of fighting or something like that doesn't bother you. It's healthy. They may not feel the same way. So it's just about kind of finding a way to compromise your conflict styles, especially. But I really like that they have the Star and the Two of Cups is what they're heading toward. So the Star, this is Aquarius energy that may apply, but does not have to. But this is like they are looking for their wish. They are like their wish is their person. This person wants to find their other half, so to speak. This person really wants to find, I feel like, their divine counterpart, their soulmate. They're like Plato Symposium, straight up. This person really wants that. Because I feel like this person really likes to be in that kind of connection. And again, I feel like there's a lot of like fighting or like critical behavior in their past, and they just want this person that feels like a reciprocal partner, like a mirror image of their own soul. Because I think they just want they really want that kind of harmony. This person may struggle with like an anxious, preoccupied attachment style. And, it's just like something to keep in mind if you're like interested in dating them or you're dating them. But I like that there's also so many stars in the sky here too. This person like really, really wants that beautiful relationship, that beautiful love. They really, really want to have that like divinely guided love. And I feel like it's because they witness how love can go wrong, whether this is for themselves or like a parental relationship, and they want to see how it can go right. They're very motivated for that. And it's interesting because this is a card 17, so that would be equivalent to an 8, and that that's a number about abundance and manifestation. So I feel like they also might be trying to call you into their lives or call their person into their lives. And they may be trying to manifest their person. So I'm going to pull a Botanical Inspirations Oracle card to kind of find out a little bit more about this person. Oh, okay, this one came out earlier too. Okay, Iris, rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. I love that in general, but I really love that for... because the star is often referred to as the rainbow after the rain. This is kind of that energy. Yeah, I feel like this person, and I love that it's also look for stars, and we're talking about all the stars. Dope. Okay. This person really tries to, this person really tries to make lemonade out of lemons in terms of emotional things. This person may have seen a lot of really unpleasant, sad, negativity. I'm really feeling strongly like a lot of critical negative behavior, again, whether this is in their childhood or from their own relationships. But this really impacted this person to the point where they might almost like, again, hyper focus on like positivity and love and honeymoon phase because that feels good for them and that feels safe for them, and it's not reminding them of what they've experienced prior. But this person really is looking for that. This person really does want to find that. I think it's important to keep in mind this person might be a little bit prone to self-sacrifice in order to get it. So really making sure that this person knows they have space for healthy expression of their wants and their needs, even if they're different than yours, is going to be crucial in this relationship. But ultimately, this is a really sweet energy. I'm going to pull you guys some sacred geometry activations to kind of dig a little bit deeper into this person's mentality. It's not that one. Maybe it is. All right, it stuck it out. So, okay. So they got, transparency. This is card 43, so that would be a 7. It says the energy of transparency supports our expansion toward a higher vibrational state of being with more insight, honesty, and clarity. And then we have surrender. So this is card 39. That would reduce to a 3. And it is, the energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. Yes, absolutely. I feel like this person's relationship challenge is that they have to learn to be very honest. They have to learn that honesty is safe, right? Because I feel like it wasn't safe for them when they were younger. And they have to learn that, like, honest expression of their own wants, needs, desires, wishes, dreams, goals is not only healthy but crucial for a relationship to become what it is that they're looking for. For them to get to where they want to go, they have to kind of get through this energy. And this is what's going to lead them to the King of Cups, is the security within themselves. And I do feel like it's going to mean they have to surrender some more kind of like, again, very almost like anxious, preoccupied energy. They're going to have to surrender some of these coping mechanisms that have helped them before, but might be kind of hindering their growth moving forward. So that's just something I'm kind of picking up. And with it being a 7, this process is part of their soul's journey, part of their spiritual expansion. And it's really crucial that they encounter those energies, and hopefully they will be in a place to want to work through them and do the work to kind of have that leveling up and that next stage and that more mature energy. So I'm going to pull you guys an advice card about this little sweet bean here. I don't want to pull you 2, but I do. So we gonna do it. All right, you guys got? Yeah, the Page of Cups. Beautiful. I love it. All right. All in the 10 of Swords. Okay. So in terms of advice, I think this is just kind of suggesting here to remember that this person has been through a lot. I feel like this is just kind of, trying to make space and acknowledge, make like space within any connection you might want to have with them, whether this is friendship, romantic, etc. Make space for what they've been through and let them know that this is over, right? The worst is over, because this is all about betrayal, being stabbed in the back, painful endings. And I feel like the fear of this is what keeps them from sometimes fully expressing themselves or kind of engaging in that very emotionally mature exchange and discourse that's part of a healthy, developed relationship. So I think with the Page of Cups, I feel like offering your cup to them, letting them know that you care, and also encouraging them to grow is really going to be important. So that way, they have that space. They have that space to work up toward healthy exchanges and conflict without fear of this very painful ending. So yeah, I kind of get that feeling. And I feel like with the Page of Cups here, this is saying, if they're kind of hot and cold, they're sort of all over the place, or so it would seem. Just remember this comes from a place of a lot of fear and a lot of pain. And try to I'm not saying tolerate anything that's not healthy or not good, but, excuse me, whenever you go to talk to them, try to do so gently, remembering that these are wounds, right? So when we're dealing with them, when we're kind of coming up against them, that's putting pressure on them. And remember that that is a painful process for them. But this person is very loving. This person really does want these things. It's just a matter of maturation and growth. So yeah, I think that is just about everything I have for group 4. If you need help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description below. I have a variety of different readings, but if you don't see something that meets your specific spiritual or financial needs, please DM me, because I am happy to make a custom reading. Anyway, thank you all, my sweet little baby love bugs, for being here. It's been an honor, as always, to read your cards, and I will see you guys in the next one, okay? All right. Bye, guys.